Hello there, I trust you're having a lovely afternoon. This is Citizen Live at 1. I am Lillian Muli Kanene. Court leaders led by Raila Odinga have criticized the government's handling of the problem of insecurity in the country and want the government to tackle the problem of terror head-on instead of issuing statements. The court leaders, who spoke after visiting the families of the 28 Kenyans killed in the Mandera bus attack, called for greater accountability by the country's security chiefs. The county government of Kakamega, whose members formed a bulk of those killed, has said it will support the families to transport the bodies to Kakamega after post-mortem examinations are conducted.
The governor of Mandera did pass information to our security agencies. The government reaction is equally disappointing, to say the least. That, oh, we have followed these terrorists and we have killed 100 of them. Where is the evidence that 100 people have been killed? If the government, the planes went and dropped some bombs inside Somalia, it's no evidence that people have been killed, that the camp that they bombed may have been empty. Those people would have been stupid to go back into their camps. So we want to tell the Vice President that the time for theatrics has run out.
That's right.
We are tired of you coming to the screens or TV to tell Kenyans, oh, action is going to be taken. We will hunt them. We will find them. They cannot hide. They have hidden from last year during the, those who are responsible for the Westgate attack are still at large.
Twende pamoja na Thursday next week tuwe na mass service huko Buhungu Stadium, alafu kutokea hapo kila familia ichukue mwili yake uweze kupanga mambo mengine ya kinyumbani.
The Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers, KUPPET, has condemned the recent terror attack on a Mandera bus in which suspected Al-Shabaab gunmen killed 28 Kenyans in cold blood at Omar Jilo in Mandera County. The union condoled with the families of the bereaved and asked the government to urgently step up security in the country and hunt down the killers. Most of those who were killed were teachers, and KUPPET National Chairman Omboko Milemba has asked the government to ensure teachers across the country get adequate security. The Union Secretary General Akelo Misori said that if insecurity in many parts of the country is not addressed, the union will order its members to withdraw their services from insecurity-prone counties such as Mandera and Turkana.
Na hatutakubali walimu wetu kuchinjwa vile tulivyoona. Na kwa hivyo kuanzia kesho tunaambia serikali ipee walimu wote ambao walioko zile sehemu ambazo hakuna usalama kama Mandera security ya kutoka huko mara moja. Na hata sehemu zingine kama zile za Turkana, Baringo na kwingineko. Na tunaambia Teacher Service Commission kwamba walimu hawatarudi sehemu hiyo kabla usalama mwafaka haujaletwa na serikali.
Teachers traveling to the city specifically for holidays and those who are going for national examination marking centers became the victims of terror attacks from Mandera to Nairobi. As a union, we condemn this cowardly act on Kenyans and more specifically the teachers. And as we stated before, the government must take the security of teachers seriously.
In other news, a Narok court has sentenced 2 men to life behind bars after finding them guilty of defiling minors. The 2 were imprisoned for separately defiling a 5-year-old girl and an 11-year-old girl in Narok County.
Charged with defiling an 11-year-old girl on the 22nd of June 2014, Samuel Metit pleaded for leniency, arguing that he is a widower and the breadwinner of his family.
Court has noted your mitigation, but if you cared for your own small children, then you ought to have kept off other people's small children. Therefore, the court will impose a sentence of life imprisonment as provided for by law.
The court also heard how on the 3rd and 4th of August 2014, Peter Kirui allegedly lured and defiled a 5-year-old child in Narok County.
The alternative count, he was charged with committing an indecent act on a child.
He too was sentenced to life imprisonment. The two can appeal to the High Court within 14 days. Salim Bilu, Citizen Live at 1.
Death causes untold pain and grief for family and friends of the deceased. But in Machakos County, the body of a woman at the heart of a family legal tussle has been lying at the Machakos Level 5 hospital for the past 6 years. The deceased lady is said to have been married through a customary marriage in the Kamba community called Iweto, where a woman is allowed to marry another woman, a matter that is contested by the brother of the deceased. The tussle over where the woman should be buried has been complicated by an eviction order for the quote-unquote wife of the deceased, one Alice Mukethe Makau, and the children of the deceased to vacate a 15-acre piece of land in Mbevo Village, Machakos County. Alex Kubasu visited the area, and here is his report of a unique family torn apart.
At the foothills of Mbevo Hills in Machakos County, a cry for justice has been echoing for the past 6 years. Where she is standing right now, Mama Alice Mukethe was supposedly the gravesite for her beloved, but justice has not been forthcoming. We sit down with her to try and understand why she has not been able to bury the love of her life for the past 6 years.
I was married to Alice through Iweto, the Kamba customary marriage, as she was the type of people who are intersexed.
Alice Mukethe, she cuts a lonely figure as she surveys this piece of land in Mbevo Village, Machakos County, that is now at the center of a protracted legal tussle. Mukethe says in court filings that way back in 1973, she was married by another woman, Alice Wanza Makau. The unique union known as Iweto reportedly took place under age-old Kamba customs that allow a woman to marry another to bear children for her. The nightmare that started one day in December 2008 when she got news that the woman who had married her was dead.
On 1st December 2008, I had rumors that my husband was dead, but it was not until January that I actually confirmed that my husband had died after I witnessed a grave being dug. Till today, I've never known what killed my husband.
A row over the burial spot soon erupted and split the family down the middle. One group wanted her to be buried here and the other wished to have her remains interred on another piece of land belonging to the deceased woman's brother, Francis Mutuku. The dispute had materialistic angle to it, just who should inherit her land. And as the funeral convoy snaked through the rural landscape to Wanza's final resting place, they could not agree on the burial spot.
Ukikosa kusikizana, nitapeleka marehemu huko Machakos, mukapewe ni koti. Na koti iamue atazikwa wapi. Marehemu akarudishwa kwa koti, kwa mortuary.
The body was swiftly returned to the mortuary where it remains to date as Mukethe and her children took the dispute to court. It is now 6 years and counting.
Chini yake ndio hiyo. Kupanda tena mpaka kwa hiyo mote hiyo.
This 15-acre piece of land and this bar in Kiundwani shopping center that has been under lock and key for 6 years now being at the heart of the matter. The defendant in the case is adamant that Mukethe was not properly married to Alice Wanza. Francis Mutuku argues in court documents that Wanza wished to be buried on his piece of land. Mutuku, who however declined an interview with us, says that his sister wanted him to inherit all her property. Family members are now worried that their late mother has taken too long in the cold morgue.
I do not know where I should go to.
The parties first appeared before Magistrate J. Munguti, who sought leave on a technicality. It then came up before S. Gasheru, who was appointed as a judge before it landed in Principal Magistrate M.K. Mwangi's court. But according to Ross Makungu, a judiciary official in Machakos, the case will return to court on the 11th of December 2014 at the Chief Magistrate's Court in Machakos town. For the parties, the cost and the weight are unbearable.
Nikifanya kazi nduru yangu yote inaishia kwa wakili. Yote inaishia kwa kotini. Sasa ndio mimi nalia serikali. Iangalie maneno kwa vile mimi mwenyewe nimeumia zaidi. Mimi ni mtoto mchanga. Hata sina familia, bado sijaleta familia. Hata ingawa mtu wako lakini siwezi leta hapa.
And again, all they want is the matter to be dispensed with as soon as possible.
Out of the 3 magistrates, none has been able to rule on that case. When my case is arrived at, it gets being postponed over and over again.
It is a cry for justice, another stark reminder that justice delayed is justice denied.
Also, several civil society organizations have teamed up to start 16 days of activism to raise awareness on the problem of gender-based violence in the society. Peace Initiative Kenya and the African Women and Child organizations held a gender-based violence awareness breakfast this morning to help media editors and non-governmental organizations understand the scale and scope of the problem in Kenya. Bonareri Samaha tells us more.
The African Women and Child Organization as well as Peace Initiative Kenya have set out elaborate programs to help the county and national government find ways of tackling gender-based violence. They want authorities to recognize gender-based violence as one of the key obstacles to development. The acting chief of party of PIK, Joyce Mushena, explained that the 16 days of activism will go a long way in raising awareness across the country on matters of gender-based violence and in helping curb the rise of the problem.
The main aim of the campaign is to highlight various forms of gender-based violence that take place in various communities with a view of increasing public engagement, public dialogue and sensitization towards getting a solution and getting people to solve their problems without resorting to violence.
Mushena says the government should focus on developing and implementing multi-pronged approaches, social and behavioral approaches towards social change to reduce gender-based violence. Bonareri Samaha, Citizen Live at 1.
Citizen Live at 1 returns shortly. Don't go away.